Magandang umaga.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, hey. No telepono, por favor. Put away your phone. Let's go start. Mr. Romero will shut the door so we can start. We are in modified lockdown, so nobody can step out of this building without their announcement. Okay? But we can still have our regular discussions. Alright, that's your warm-up. I don't see any pink paper except for Carter, Kevin, and Jose. And Johanna, and Marlon. Go ahead and get your warm-up. Come on. I just get ready for my door.
Oh, okay. So you just have to go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Do you need to help me
I mean, the concept is still,
in process?
it's so broad. Like, I don't know where will I get this, that.
Okay.
So I just prepared the draft, so I will paste it along the way.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Romero.
Did you go
I know
through
you're
the-
always there.
Thank you. Do you go through the rubric?
Yes, I tried. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's start. Kevin, you ready?
Marlon? You good? Finish?
Okay, so for number two question says, there is a 13-foot ladder leaning against the side of the building. So if I were to describe it, you know how much I love, making drawings. So imagine that this is the building that they are referring to. See that? I put details on it, okay? So a 13-foot ladder, I will put a ladder on it. Like that. Then I will label it as 13 foot. The ladder reaches up the building 12 feet. So imagine that this long reaches 12 feet. Okay? You got the part? We're just labeling it. How far is the bottom of the ladder from the bottom of the building? So we are asked to find these. Am I right, Carter? Now, based on what we studied yesterday, this is an example of what? What type of problem is this? Our lesson yesterday. What's our lesson for yesterday?
¿Cuál es el nombre de la lección de ayer? ¿Qué fue lo que aprendimos? ¿Cuál es el tema? Pueden decir en español. Correcto, Pitágoras.
Okay, very good.
Pythagorean Theorem.
Teorema de Pitágoras.
Okay. Pythagorean Theorem. So that's our lesson yesterday. So we will apply it. As we can see here, I can label, in any form, you can just say that X would be A, 12 would be B, or vice versa. But in some point, upon my drawing, X is smaller than the building. Am I right? So we can label that our X would be A, your 12 feet would be B, and 13 would be C. What makes us think that C or 13 would be our C? What is opposite to C?
Right angle.
Okay, the right angle. As always, it is always opposite, right across to each other. So, that means we may now have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. This is what we had yesterday. Pythagorean Theorem, okay? So I'll just plug in. That's X squared. That's 12 feet. 12 squared. And then C is 13 squared. That's it. Okay? And then X squared plus 12 times 12 is 144. 13 times 13 is 169. Since we're solving for x, we need to subtract 144. So now we have x squared equals, what's 169 minus 144?
25.
You said 5?
25.
25. Now to remove the squared, we need to square both sides or square with both sides in order for us to have x only. X is equal to, what's the square root of 25? 5. Mr. Romero, is there anyone here which is included in ASVAB?
Okay, what?
The email from Miss Snipes, the ASVAB.
I don't know. Let me check.
You can check here if you want. Much bigger.
Thank you.
Their names. You're familiar with their names. So we can send them out. So x is 5. So from the bottom of the ladder, from the bottom of the what? The building, the measure is 5 feet. Is that right? Okay. Now number 2. For number 2, in that case, we don't have anything aside from we need to draw the triangle. Okay? How would I label this part? How can I label this? A, B, or C?
A.
A. What about this?
T.
B. What about that?
C.
C. Alright? Again, as much as possible, we need to start with A, which is the smaller leg. As much as possible, if that happens. Now, let's start. So it says the hypotenuse of a right triangle is 6 more than the shorter leg. Do we know the shorter leg? Do we know the value of a shorter leg? Do you know? No, we don't. So we can assign A as x because we don't know. Next, hypotenuse of the right triangle is 6 more than the shorter leg. So how will I represent C?
X plus x.
Okay, it says 6 more than the shorter leg. Shorter leg is x. It says 6 more than that. Okay? More than 6. Whatever the measure of the shorter leg, you're gonna add 6 more. Make sense? Next, the longer leg, this is the longer leg. The longer leg is 3 more than the shorter leg. So how will I represent that? It says, what is the shorter leg? X. And how much we need to add to the shorter leg? 3. So you're gonna put 3. Make sense? If the word says less means what? Minus. Okay? But since it is more, we're using plus sign. Make sense? Are we good?
Yeah.
This is hard. Anyway, this is an application of Unit 1. Mr. Romero,
I
so.
can see that.
Unit 1A and Unit 1B. That's how it is. Okay, using the pattern A squared plus B squared equals C squared, I'll just copy whatever we have. B and C. There you go. Remember the word. Remember that? That's what we're gonna do here. We're multiplying it twice. X plus 3, x plus 3. X times x times 3, 3 times x, 3 times 3.
Good question, Mr. Pe- I'm sorry. What do you mean by foil?
First term,
Okay.
outside term, inner term, last term.
Okay.
So, first term, outside term, inner term, last term.
Okay. Because it's the first time that I see foil.
We did that in Unit 1A.
Oh, okay.
But we just focus on distribution.
Okay, that is true. Thank you.
We can skip this one because we don't have anything like this in your test. But it's up to you if you want me to keep going. Do you want me to do it?
¿Quieren mirar este tipo de ejercicios cómo se hacen? Igual no están incluidos en el examen, pero la maestra quería presentarlos para que ustedes se den cuenta que existen y todo. ¿Quieren que avancemos con este a manera de ejemplo? Ok, they say yes.
So that would be x squared. If we're gonna do this twice, let's do it anyway, since you like it. X times x, x squared. X times 3, 3x, right?
Yeah.
3 times x, 3x. 3 times 3, 9. Is it?
Yeah.
Equals, again, I'm now here. This time, I will be multiplying x plus 6 twice. Using FOIL again. Or in some other term, just distribute the terms. X times x, x squared. X times 6, 6x. 6 times x, 6x. 6 times 6, 36. Oh, I remember now, Ms. Romero. When we were in Unit 1, this is what we use. X plus 6, x plus 6. That's why we keep distributing as well, but I let them use that.
Okay.
Alright, let's do it. So now that they're open, we can combine terms like that. So that would be 2x squared. 3x would give us 6x. That is 9 equals x squared. And then 12x, and then 36. Next, combine terms. I'll subtract this, x squared. I'll subtract 12x. I'll subtract 36. Everything would be cancelled and turn to 0. 2 minus 1, that is 1, or just an imaginary one, right? 6 minus 12,
Negative 6.
negative 6x. 9 minus 36,
Negative 27.
negative 27, you said?
Yes.
Do you remember this? What will I do to find x?
Get x on its own.
Get the what?
X by itself.
X by itself? No. Next to that is we need to factor. Now you need to refresh your x method, your magic square, your slide and divide. Alright, since we're there, let's keep going. 6x.
Negative 6x plus
Minus
minus
27 equals 0. I'll use x. On top would be the c. Below is negative 6. What would be the factor for 27 that will make a sum of negative 6? Factor for 27. Huh? 9 and?
3.
9 and 3. If that's 9 and 3, how would it become negative 6? Which one should be containing negative?
9.
Okay. If we do this, listen. Is negative 9 times 3 equals negative 27? Is negative 9 plus 3 equals to negative 6? So that's the factor. That's the factor. So now we have x minus 9, x plus 3 equals 0. Are we done?
No.
Since Maria wants it, let's go. You want it, right? X minus 9 equals 0. So add 9 both sides. Cancel, x is equal to 9. That's 1. That's 1. Another 1. We need to equal to 0 in order for us to extract the value of x. X plus 3 equals 0. Subtract 3. X equals negative 3. Got it? Now, are we done? Not yet. We need to identify which one is better as the value of x. Would I be choosing negative 3 or will I be choosing 9? What do you think? Look, is there any length? Is there any length which is negative if I'll choose x equals negative 3? Would you say to your friend like, hey, my house is negative 3 miles away? Would you say that? No. So do you think negative 3 as the value of x would be acceptable? No. There's no negative distance. There's no negative length. You got it? So we cannot accept this. Look, I will mark this x, huh? Only one answer is acceptable, which is 9. Make sense? Alright. Any questions?
Preguntas.
No question? You understand?
Por favor, tomen sus notas, tomen fotografías si gustan. Igual no vamos a tener ejercicios como estos en examen, pero solamente es para mirar cómo funciona el procedimiento.
Es largo el ejercicio.
No more question because I need to erase this one and, you know. Question? Without? We need to go up there. That is broken. That is broken. I mean, if it is tied, just remove the tied part and it will go down. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Okay, on it. Let's go, let's start.
Aquí, profesor, sé que hay una...
Señor.
Es verdad que hay, o sea, hay como que una amenaza por ello. O sea, es como que un arma. ¿Sí que?
Más despacio porque no te escucho.
Es que habla bien atrás.
O sea que hay una arma en el colegio. Un arma.
Oh no!
Sí, sí que... Sí que hay una arma en el colegio. Sí. Ay, hindi ko nga pinupikre.
Ay, cannot.
No, sí es cierto, güey.
Sí, cierto.
Sí, me
That's it.
publicaron todo.
Ajá. Marica, no me creo.
Pero es juguete.
Pues ya la viste.
Deja que no le tiren un balín, no se atravesaba uno de par a par.
Ah, no, pero es juguete, loco.
¿Quién sabe, boludo?
Deja con la escapada de agua, Andrea, no dura uno que un balinazo no le no para.
Can I erase this part now?
No.
Yo solo voy a tirar pero con risa de... Estoy abriendo ¿Ah? Solo voy a tirar con risa de...
¿Cómo que querías todo de plan? Pero ¿cómo que querías nadie?
Antes ya estábamos quedando una duda que quería que tiraba...
Antes que te enseñaron, pero...
Leía unos otros que se le grababa,
Ese
claro,
era el
no pegar.
Parece que entramos de plano todo, no te diste cuenta. Sí, bueno, ahí. Sí, bueno, ahí. Porque yo sé
Sí,
que
mañana,
Voy a otra.
bueno.
Claro.
check. Mira, mira. Yo sé si
Alright, go with this part of your packet. I mean, of your paper. Alright, so what we will be doing today, I want you to get a line paper and copy this, okay? Special. Did I just write special, Carter, and I spell it wrong? Special. Right? Triangle. Special right triangles. Who needs a line paper? You need a line paper for you. Because you need to copy. Who needs it? Really, I don't have line paper anymore? That's fine. Who else? Who needs it? Tessie, you need it? Line paper? Línea de papel. You need?
Línea de papel.
Marlon, you need one? Yeah. Go to Marlon. Kebs, you need one? Kebs. All right. Okay. Special right triangle are two parts. The first one is 45, 45, 90 degree. When you say 45, 45, 90, what's the total of 45, 45, 90? What is it?
180.
Bathroom? 180. That's the total, right? Now, it only means that since we have a 90 degree here, we are talking about a right triangle only. Huh? If I'm gonna draw, look at this one. If I'm gonna draw, this is my 90 degree angle. So what would be the measure of these two angles?
45.
45. Okay, a 45 and 45. Okay, now, what can you say about, if this is 45 and that is 45, what can you say about the opposite side of each of these angles? Do you think they are also the same? Huh? They are. So I label them same. So you would think that the two sides and the two angles are the same. Whatever their opposite side and whatever their opposite angle would be the same. Make sense? What makes them special is, this is another type of a right triangle. What triangle do you have two sides that are congruent? What type of triangle is that?
Isosceles.
Isosceles. Meaning to say, again, what type of these, if you have a 90-degree angle, what type of triangle is that?
Right.
Right. Given that the two sides are equal, the reason why they are called special triangle, right triangle, because this is an isosceles right triangle. You see it? Let's make them special.
Huh?
Mr. Romero, Cynthia wants to step out.
Okay.
Go to the restroom. You need to do it faster, Cynthia. We are in modified lockdown. We're not supposed to allow you to step out of this room. Unless you are escorted with somebody.
Sí. Muchachos, rápidamente, no hay tantos, hoy no hay facilidad de utilizar el baño como lo hacemos siempre, por lo que estamos en el lockdown modificado. El sistema de seguridad y alerta de la escuela está elevado en este momento, entonces no se puede, por favor, evítenlo.
30, isosceles right. Again, what are the characteristics of an isosceles right? The two sides are what?
Congruent.
Okay, congruent. Aside from sides, what are the parts that are congruent?
The legs.
Angles. Legs and sides, Carter, are the same, huh? What else? Of course, there is a 90. Degree angle. Okay? That's isosceles right. Let's have the other special right. What's the other special right? What is 30 plus 60 plus 90?
180.
180. See? Still 180. But this is special right. I'll draw. The one that we are using in Pythagorean Theorem is the 30, 60, 90. One would be smaller, then next would be larger, and then the largest. Or small, longer, longest. So, I will label it as, which one is longer? Is it this one or the one at the bottom?
The vertical one.
Okay, the vertical one. So therefore, this is your 60 degree, meaning it opposites the longer part. Okay? Now, since this is shorter, meaning to say this is the smallest angle. Make sense? Now, since this is a square, that means that it is a 90 degree. Now, I'll put a label on it. Again, 30 degree is a small angle. So that corresponds to a small length. Make sense? So I'll just put one marking, meaning it's just small length. 60 degree is bigger than 30. And it opposites to the longer side. So I can put two stripes. Does that make sense? If you see this line, which do you think has a bigger length? Is it the one stripe or two stripes?
Two.
Okay, the two. Make sense? Now, since this is 90 and much bigger to 60, it opposites how many stripes?
3.
3. Which means that these 3 stripes is bigger or longer than the other 2 legs. Does it make sense to you? Alright. Now, if I'm gonna change the position, for example, I'll change the orientation. What do you think would be the measure of these?
30.
30. Because it opposites the shorter leg. See that? Huh? This would be your 30, and that would be your 1 stripe. You see it? Marcus, what is this length? Okay, very good. 60. And this would be your 2 strips. Huh? And your 90 would be your 3 strips. Make sense? Huh? Good job. Okay. So let's finalize like what we did here. So, wait. What type of triangle this is? If you have a 90 degree? Alright. What type of triangle if none of the side is congruent? It starts with I. Isosceles. That's how it make it so special. Because it is a combination of 2 special right triangle. Does it make sense?
Wait, this one's isosceles?
No. Scalene. Did she said isosceles?
She said isosceles.
I'm sorry. Scalene. None of the sides are equal. Again, this is scalene, right triangle. Scalene, so what are the characteristics? No sides are equal or congruent. Okay? It contains 90-degree angles. The 30-degree is opposite to what length? Opposite to what? Shorter leg, longer leg, or hypotenuse?
Short leg.
Shorter leg. Your 60-degree is opposite to what?
The long leg.
Longer leg. And lastly, of course, your 90 is opposite to the longest side. There you go.
Es demasiado.
Done? Do you need more explanations from Mr. Romero or you're good?
¿Revisamos? ¿Sí? Ok, listo, perfecto. Entonces, ¿cuál es el título?
Ya recto.
Special
Ángulos.
recto triangle.
Ángulos rectos especiales, ¿ok? O ángulos especiales, ¿de acuerdo? ¿Qué es lo que hace este ángulo especial? ¿Qué ven ustedes de especial en este ángulo?
Why?
O sea que tiene los ángulos, dos ángulos.
Yo arranco por las medidas. Cuando el ángulo tiene 45, 45, 90 o 90, 45, 45, y obviamente va a sumar los 180 grados, ¿verdad? Entonces arrancamos de un ángulo recto donde nosotros identificamos rápidamente que tengo un ángulo recto porque dense cuenta las señales que tenemos acá. Este ángulo, como no es recto, dense cuenta que esta línea es curva. Miren acá, por favor, porque después nos confundimos. Entonces, esta línea que nosotros tenemos acá es curva.
Teachers and students, please pardon this interruption. Teachers, at this time, we need you to review the list sent by Ms. Snipes this morning for our ASVAB testing students. We will be having those students report to the Media Center at this time so we can conduct the ASVAB test. Please review the list and send those students at this time. Media Center, thank you.
Ese anuncio es para unos estudiantes que necesitan tomar un test, pero ya revisamos la lista y ustedes no tienen que ir a tomar ese test. Entonces continuamos. Les decía, esta línea es curva, ¿de acuerdo? ¿Sí? Doctora Abusón. Ok, listo. Esta línea es completamente curva. ¿Qué quiere decir eso? Que es un ángulo diferente a 90 grados. Cuando tengo un ángulo de 90 grados, ¿cómo se representa? ¿Cómo sé que el ángulo es realmente recto y tiene 90 grados? Porque ya no utilizo nada curvo, como en este caso, sino tengo un cuadrado. Dense cuenta, 90 grados, 90 grados, 90 grados. ¿Ok? Es la forma rápidamente de identificar que el ángulo tiene 90 grados. Entonces, arranco de 90 grados, 45, 45. ¿De acuerdo? ¿Qué pasa con esto? Porque el ángulo es especial. En este caso es un triángulo isósceles. ¿Ok? Es especial porque tiene 45, 45, 90. Quiere decir que si yo veo este triángulo aquí, ¿ok? Veo que es isósceles y aquí tengo 45, quiere decir que este ángulo automáticamente es de 45. ¿Listos? Entonces, identifico rápidamente cuál es la medida que tiene cada uno de los ángulos. Entonces, ¿por qué sé que este ángulo es especial? Porque es un triángulo recto o es un triángulo isósceles. ¿De acuerdo? Bien, dos de sus lados son iguales. Dos ángulos son iguales. ¿De acuerdo? O sea, cuando hablo de los dos lados, quiere decir la longitud. ¿Ok? Dos ángulos son iguales y tiene un ángulo de 90 grados. Entonces aquí está el ángulo de 90 grados y tengo ángulos que son iguales, dos ángulos que son 45 grados. Por eso lo hace especial. ¿Listos? Continuamos. Siguiente ángulo. Entonces, cuando tengo igualmente 90 grados, ¿cómo sé? Porque es un ángulo recto. Veo el cuadro aquí, el cuadrado. ¿De acuerdo? Tengo un lado más corto que el otro, quiere decir que este ángulo va a ser de 60 grados y el otro va a ser de 30 grados. Igual, la suma de sus ángulos interiores va a ser 180. ¿Listos? ¿Cómo se llama este triángulo? Este triángulo se llama escaleno en español. ¿Han oído hablar? ¿Recuerdan ustedes triángulos escalenos de primaria? Ok, listo. Este triángulo es escaleno. ¿Qué condiciones o qué características tiene un ángulo escaleno? Ese escaleno quiere decir que ninguno de sus lados es igual o congruente. ¿Ok? Quiere decir que sus lados son completamente diferentes entre sí. ¿De acuerdo? Bien. Tiene un ángulo de 90 grados. ¿Cómo lo identifico? Ven aquí ustedes el cuadrado. No importa qué orientación tenga, como dice la maestra, puede ser así, puede ser así, puede ser así, como ustedes quieran. Siempre y cuando tenga un ángulo de 90 grados, ustedes identifiquen un ángulo de 90 grados y los lados todos sean de diferentes medidas, estamos frente a un triángulo escaleno. Tiene 30 grados, el ángulo tiene 30 grados en el lado que se encuentra opuesto al lado más corto. Aquí lo hablan de la pata o del costado más corto. Entonces, es decir, aquí está este ángulo del lado más corto, o sea, dice el ángulo 30 grados al lado opuesto del más corto. Este es el más corto. ¿Cuál es el costado que está opuesto? Este. Quiere decir que este ángulo es de 30 grados. Esa es la característica que tiene. Obviamente, si este tiene 90 y este tiene 30, ¿cuánto va a tener este? 60 grados. 60 grados es opuesto al longer leg. Este es el longer, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces, el ángulo que está opuesto va a ser el de 60 grados. ¿Listos? 90 grados es opuesto también al longer. Quiere decir que este es el lado más largo y el opuesto va a ser este. Obviamente 90 grados. Ya lo dijimos, este y este prácticamente son lo mismo. ¿Listos? ¿Alguna pregunta? Listo, lo nuevo es que estamos hablando de ángulo escaleno, ¿ok?
Mr. Romero, is our power school still down?
I don't think so. Is it?
This is my second attempt.
Okay, do you receive any email saying that it's down and you might try maybe in 15 minutes or so? Like a new screen? Let me check email because usually when it is down, the administration sends us an email or something about
It
it.
opens now.
Oh, okay.
Because I couldn't able to access this 4th block, so I need to check
Okay.
before I forgot my 4th block, yes. Any question? So far, do you understand?
Yeah.
I have Maya absent, yes. Let me check the attendance of my 4 blockers before.
Yes, ma'am. ¿Alguna pregunta adicional, alguna duda que tengan?
Alright. Question? Now, do you remember of what Mr. Romero explained about the special right? You good? There are only two, There are only two special right. Miss Kapasha, if I'll think another, form of angles, like if I'll say, I got the 90, of course, because it's a right, but I'll mess up with this one. Would I change to 50 and 40? This is still 180, right? So, will this happen? What do you think? Will this happen?
¿Ustedes creen que ese sería un ángulo especial por lo que tiene ángulo recto, aunque sus medidas cambian de 60-30 a 50-40?
What do you think? Will that happen? No, it can't. Because there is no angle which will satisfy the condition of a special right, like what we're gonna write in the formula. And anyway, a 40, a 50, and a 90, which are not the same, can also be represented by the second special right, which is the 30, 60, and 90, since they are not all the same as well. Make sense? So there's always two special right only. You cannot, or we cannot, create another special right. You cannot just think, Miss Kapasha, I want 20, a 70, and a 90. No, we can't. No.
I mean, you can have that angle, but
You
it's
can
not
have that
going to be
angle,
a
but-
special right.
Exactly. Alright? There are only two special right.
Lo que dice la maestra es que solamente consideramos dos tipos de ángulos como ángulos rectos especiales, ¿ok? No podemos nosotros asumir que porque el ángulo es recto, ¿de acuerdo? Que porque el ángulo es recto quiere decir que tiene grados de 90 grados, cualquier medida adicional como 50-60 o 20-70 o cualquier otra combinación de ángulos que me dé otros 90 grados para complementar el ángulo de 90 y me dé 180, no quiere decir eso que ya el ángulo va a ser recto especial. Los únicos dos tipos de ángulos rectos especiales que se consideran tienen las medidas 45, 45, 90 o cualquier otra combinación de estos grados o 30, 60, 90. No puedo sencillamente garantizar que como mide 180 grados y tiene uno de esos ángulos como 90 grados, eso no quiere decir automáticamente que va a ser recto especial. ¿Puede que exista el ángulo? Claro que sí, es muy posible que exista, pero no lo puedo considerar como un ángulo recto especial. ¿Tiene sentido? Bien.
Alright, let's create the formula now since you master all of those. Again, don't forget. The 45 angle opposite the two sides that are congruent, Let's start here. So leg can be determined by leg is equal to whatever x you have, whatever value you have. Leg is x. That's the formula. Anything that would be x. Hypotenuse can be found or can be solved by copying the leg multiplied by square root of 2. What is the leg formula? What is the leg formula? X. So that would be x square root of 2. Okay? You got it? Again, this is your formula for the leg. This is the formula for hypotenuse. Question with the formula so I can give you the example? No? No, not question? Alright, look. First example. If that is 90, this is 45, what is this?
45.
45. Now, what did I told you about the opposite legs of these? They are congruent. So if that would be marked as 2 lines as well, if this is 8, what's the measure of x?
8.
8. And what's the measure of y based on the formula that we have? That would be 8 square root of 2. See, as easy as that. Really? That's it. Okay? So your x is 8, your y is 8 square root of 2. Miss Kapasha, are we not simplifying this? Keep that. As easy as that. That's the answer. Next. Let's identify again the angle. 90, 45. What is this?
45.
45. If that's 2 lines, and this is 2 lines again, if this is 25, what is y?
25.
25. What is x based on the formula?
25 times square root of 2.
That's it. See how simple that is? Okay?
¿Preguntas? ¿Revisamos? Yo creo que la fórmula está bien clara allí, ¿verdad?
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Alguien necesita explicación o seguimos con el número 3?
Not until we reach number 3, Mr. Romero.
Okay. Okay.
1 and 2 is easy, right? We can do like 100 of that. Is it? Now, just in case that we have, let's meet number 3. Okay? This is another form. Look, I'll label the angle. 90, 45. What is this?
45.
45. So I have an idea that x and y are what?
Equal.
They are equal. Right? The problem with this value of hypotenuse, the hypotenuse doesn't have square root of 2. If only there is a square root of 2, I can say that this is 19. Am I right, Carter? But it's not. It's not like that. There's no square root of 2, so we need to solve. Do you understand? Okay. How would you solve? Now, without the square root of 2 in your hypotenuse, you need to copy this. Copy that. Again, hypotenuse is equal to x square root of 2. Right? Copy that. Go, copy. Copy the formula because that's where we're gonna derive. We good? Now, what is the value of hypotenuse?
19.
19 equals x square root of 2. Alright, that's the second step. I replace the value of 19 as the value of hypotenuse. Ready? Since we're solving for the x, is it? We're solving for that, right? I need to divide square root by square root of 2. So we can cancel. Got it? So now, I have 19 square root of 2 equals x. Right? Going back, Unit 3, radicals. We need to rationalize this one. This is not allowed in math department or in math police department. We will be caught of keeping radical in the denominator. So instead, we need to multiply whatever that is. Go do it. Whatever your denominator, you will just copy and multiply to numerator and denominator. And I'll show you the next step. Ready? So, 19, can you multiply 19 and square root of 2? No, you can't. No, no. So, you will copy that. Huh? What is square root of 2 times square root of 2?
Square root.
Square root of 4. Right? Huh? What is the square root of 4? 2. So that's the answer. That's your x. So your x, this would be 19 square root of 2 over 2. This is 19 square root of 2 over 2. Do you understand? Again, the only hard part here is if the x values are unknown. But if the hypotenuse has square root of 2, there's no problem. Am I right, Carter? Because you're just taking the x and put them as an x value. Right, Maria? The only thing that we undergo this process is because, again, your hypotenuse doesn't have any square root of 2. So we need to create one. Question? No? Are you done copying? Do you understand? Preguntas? No? We're good?
¿Por qué? Por eso. His question is, why do we have the same thing in both sides? La respuesta es porque x y y son iguales, son congruentes. La hipotenusa es 19, pero x y y son congruentes. Entonces, lo que tengo a un lado es igual a lo que tengo del otro.
Remember, look. 25, 25. 8, 8. Because they are equal. See the two lines? The two lines?
¿Tiene sentido? Ok.
¿Por qué hay que hacer tanto procedimiento?
Buena pregunta.
What's this? Yes.
Buenos dias.
Buenos días.
What?
We have the recast card, the unit for.
¿Por qué tiene
Yeah,
tanto
but not
procedimiento?
until
Es
next
la
year.
forma de hacerlo.
You can give it to them.
Is it in there?
Yeah.
I just need to
Pero
report it,
recuerda que
right?
lo único importante ahí es,
Yeah, but
si
I can't
conozco
give
la
that
fórmula,
because it's still open.
sencillamente desarrollo
You
la
cannot
fórmula.
give that until your actual test is still open.
So I have to close my.
Did you
okay.
test yet?
Yes.
And then you want them to do the test?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to do test corrections tomorrow and then retest.
¿Qué?
If you want.
No te digo. ¿La dos? ¿La dijiste dos? ¿Qué pasa con la fórmula? ¿Qué pasa con la hipotenusa? O sea, hágame, la pregunta es ¿cuál? Pero si tú me haces una pregunta, la pregunta se hace completa, ¿ok? Si tú me dices, Mr. Romero, tengo una pregunta y tú me dices el miércoles, ¿qué pasa con el miércoles? Me dices hipotenusa, ¿qué pregunta tienes con
Me
la
dijo que contar que supiera la
la fórmula?
la fórmula,
Sí.
yo le dije que la hipotenusa, que es x a la
¿Qué cuadrado?
así es cuadrado.
O sea, no,
Ahí no veo el cuadrado.
raíz
No.
cuadrada, raíz cuadrada.
Raíz cuadrada.
Es que la raíz cuadrada.
O sea, raíz de 2, sí, correcto.
Sí.
Raíz cuadrada de 2. Ok.
Bueno, vaya.
Buena pregunta. Muchachos, no escucharon. En el momento hay restricción limitada, no podemos tener a estudiantes afuera, no se puede. ¿Por qué? Por el lockdown, no podemos. Ahora, si es una emergencia, está bien, pero si es una emergencia, hay estudiantes que tienen emergencia de ir al baño y se van al baño y se van así.
Yo voy a ir, pues.
Question?
No.
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Todo bien.
Because I need to go down.
¿Puedo ir, maestro?
He needs to use the restroom, es capaz.
Who?
Okay.
Carlos?
No. Pero,
Honor?
hold on. But Kevin asked me first.
Oh, Kevin, go first
Kevin,
with Mr. Romero.
do you still
You need to
use
do
the restroom?
quick, huh?
Okay, go quick, please.
You need to do
Yo no me
quick.
quiero ir al baño.
No.
Después de lo que pasan los demás. Si puedo hablar. Si puedo.
No, Sergio, no puedo decir que no, pero es que no nos ayudan con el lockdown. Y si tenemos llamados de atención, ¿cómo hacemos? Si es emergencia, pueden ir, pero es que no todo es emergencia.
Ahora.
Si realmente la tienes, está bien.
Okay, do number 10. Do number 10 and number 12. Again, 10 and 12. 10 and 12. Copy this, copy. Remember what we did earlier? Copy that. That's number 10. Carlos, do your work.
Cuando va a salir, no va a salir ahora.
¿Cómo le digo?
Por eso tengo que ir después para allá, para...
Pues, dilo, güey.
Tengo que ir manejarse hasta... Es lo que quiero que lo sabe. ¿Recordado? Todo más de pérdida. Yo soy mierda.
Aquel güey, el que tiraba el pelito para atrás.
Me enojé con él, pero...
Y aquel un patubón.
El ecuatoriano, el que iba a la que sí.
Oye, aquel güey que tenía la hermana que era el mejor de Ecuador.
Sí, ese es el dinero de... ¿Se acuerdan?
No, pero ¿por qué cambiaron de escuela?
Pero ese no hablaba mucho, estudiaba.
Ahí su madre cambiaron para otra escuela.
Gente identificado.
¿Por? Ya se pipí. Igual lo
Aquí no dejo.
es que me partidita, ¿no? Y después viene la siembra por acá.
Está fácil, güey. Oye, Marco. ¿Tienes tecla? ¿Qué tiene? No me puedes decir. Dame.
Pero ya es
Dame chico. Tú siempre andas. ¿Qué me tiene chico?
Ahorita no se agarra.
Yo quiero un chico. Retado. Parece que digamos. No tengo Dile a él, Marcos. Dame, oye.
Ve, no te. Escuché. Eres chiste.
No se agarra otra manera.
No, es rato.
Dale paso por el
Yo ando.
Digo nada. Oh, ¿te está comiendo el examen?
Okay, you done? Parker, did you get the answer?
No, no.
Está bien.
Ey, amá.
Carlos, what's your answer here?
La paga de internet no pagan las pipas.
28 to the square root of 2 over 2.
Oh, is that your answer as well? Okay, let's see, huh? Let me show you. So 28, 45. So this is 45, right?
Yeah. Nice.
So the markings would go to x and y, is it?
Yeah.
So, same formula. Height is equal to x square root of 2. Did you do the same thing? That's what we did. So your hypotenuse is 28. That would be x square root of 2, right? Divide by square root of 2. Divide by square root of 2. Cancel. X is equal to 28 over square root of 2. Did you do the same thing? Okay. Now, so now that you have 28 over square root of 2, that would be multiplied by square root of 2 equals x. So that is 28 square root of 2 divided by 2, you said, right? Because square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 4, and square root of 4 is equal to
2.
2.
They just keep coming in.
So what is, but you should divide 28 by 2. What is 28 divided by 2?
14.
14. So the answer now is 14 square root of 2. Since they can be divided. Carter, the reason why we did not divide here, because they cannot. So we leave it like that, huh? Okay. But you lead to the correct answer. 14 square root of 2. Correcto. This is easy. Look, Marlon. 45, 45, right?
Yeah.
This and that. If this is cuatro, what is this?
4.
Cuatro. What is this?
4.
4 square root of 2.
Okay, cuatro square root of 2. Remember the formula, right, Sarah? X square root of 2. That's it. Oh, here, it's easy. Number 15, look. What is 9 square root of 2? What part of this special part is this? Is the hypotenuse or legs?
Hypotenuse.
The height. If that's 45, this is 45. So your y and x are the same, is it? So, in that case, what would be the value of x and y?
9.
9. We're going reverse, right? It's easy. We just reverse it. Is there any more 45, 45? No more.
Well, there is one more. It's on
There's
17.
one more down.
There's one on 17.
Are you done? So we can scroll down. We good?
Design.
17. Okay. Same process that we did. Now, Carlos, email 45, 45, right? So your x and y are the same. Huh?
Same.
So we have these. We don't have square root of 2 again. So we need to do it. Height equals x square root of 2. Right? So we need to do that. Square root of 10 equals x square root of 2. Divide by square root of 2. Square root of 10 divided by square root of 2 will give you what? What is 10 divided by 2?
5.
5. So that's it. So this would be square root of 5 and this would be square root of 5.
Yeah.
Question? No?
Is it an emergency or because you're saying students want to let you? ¿Es emergencia o es porque ves que todos van?
No, no,
¿Seguro? Wow. We have a lot of emergencies, bro.
Question? Good? So Romero, we answered all the 45. So later, we will do 30, 60. Question? No? Okay. Let's go here. 30, 60. Go back to 30, 60. Find that. I don't know where to find it. Now, let's create the formula of a 30, 60, 90. How? Listen here. 30, 60, I'll put 2. 90, right? How many lines will I put here?
1,
1. Here.
2,
Here.
3.
Don't forget that. 1 curve, 1 line. 2 curves, 2 lines. 3 curves, 90. Alright. Shorter leg. I'll call this one as SL. You know what SL means?
Short leg.
Short leg. How will I call this one?
LL.
LL. Again, this is that. This is that. Then, this is height. That. Okay? Label. Come on. You need to do that so you won't copy. So, shorter leg, opposite the 30. Longer leg, opposite the 60. Hypotenuse, opposite the 90. Ha? Okay, ready? Which one do you think is the X? Is it the shorter leg, longer leg, or hypotenuse?
Short.
The short. So, the formula for that is X. That's X. What about longer leg? Longer leg would be shorter leg times square root of 3. Earlier, we used the square root of 2 for 45, right? If it is a 30-60, we're using square root of 3. So in other words, the formula would be X square root of 3. You got this? I hope you will remember. Ready for the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse formula is, ready? 2 of the SL. What is SL again?
Short leg.
Short leg. So therefore, that would be 2 times X. Remember the formula, please. It doubles the shorter leg. I'll do it slowly. Anyway, that's the last example that we can. I'll do it slowly, I promise. Ready? Are you still copying? Marcos, you done? Next, look. If that's 90, if this is 60, what are we missing?
30.
30. Now, again. 1 curve, 1 line. Ha? 2 curves, 2 lines. 90, 3 lines. Do it. Mark it. Mark it. I'm just copying what I told you earlier. You ready? Let's apply the formula. So, 5 is your x, right? Because the shorter leg, this is SL, this is LL, this is height. Now, if SL is 5, how will I find LL? Look at the LL formula. LL, here, longer leg. That would be what?
5 square root of 3.
Okay, there you go. Again, whatever your shorter leg, that is 5, multiplied by square root of 3, that's it. You're just copying it. Since x is 5, I just copied that 5 square root of 3. Again, the formula is x square root of 3. X is 5, 5 square root of 3. Got it? What would be your height? Look at the formula for height. Double the x. What is your x?
5.
5. Double it.
10.
10. So that's the answer. You understand? This is quite different from 45, right? A lot different. X 5 square root of 3. Y 10. One more. Ready? Okay. 30, 90. What is missing?
60.
60. How many curves will I put in 60? How many?
2.
You said 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Huh? 30, 1 curve, one line. 90, how many lines?
3.
3. Okay, let's start. Which one is shorter leg? Which one is SL?
14.
14. So, if your x is 14, x, how would I do this? That would be x times square root of 3. What's the answer? That is 14 square root of 3. Is it? Right? Carlos? Marcus, do you understand? Now, how would I do the hypotenuse? What's the formula? X times 2, right? So that would be 2 times what is the x?
14.
14. So what's the answer?
28.
28. So those are the answer. Y is 14 square root of 3. The x is 28. If you want, probably Mr. Romero, they're confused of why Miss Capasha, this is x unknown and I label this x. It's because I used the x as their formula earlier. But we can use SL, LL if they want to.
Que la maestra dice que de pronto algunos de ustedes se pueden sentir confundidos por lo que tenemos doble X allí. Ustedes se dan cuenta, este que tenemos aquí es X, ¿de acuerdo? Pero este X se refiere al nombre de este lado, ¿de acuerdo? X lo estamos utilizando aquí porque es la variable que estamos utilizando para desarrollar las fórmulas. Entonces no nos vayamos a confundir con eso, ¿ok? Es la recomendación de la maestra.
Are we good?
Or maybe we can use a different color for that X.
¿Qué guardamos?
Brown.
No, para.
What's the difference discussion?
That's what they are asking in the chat. Like, Jenna, have you heard if we are going to second block the regular time? So far, yes. But let's see if anything changes. I haven't heard anything different. So probably we will be out of it. Exactly.
Okay, another thing, otra cosa. some teachers, okay, are saying that some students are going to the bathroom and they are not coming back. They call security, and security said that we were not supposed to send
Students, teachers, please pardon this interruption as we get ready to have our first transition of the day. Teachers, we will not be conducting lockout. We will be pushing all students to class, admit all students into class. Teachers, we also need you to follow your second period duty post for transition and then stay in place through second block. Again, go to your second period duty post and stay in place through second block. We will make an announcement about how we will run lunches once we get closer to that transition. Again, all students are to be brought into class. We will have faculty members out pushing kids to class. All folks with a second block duty post, please report there and stay in place through second block. Thank you.
Okay, dice que no hay lockout, pero que ustedes están, o sea, se les pide el favor que vayan lo más pronto posible a su segunda clase, ¿ok? Le estaba diciendo, algunos estudiantes han ido al baño y sencillamente no regresan. Nos ponen en problemas porque reportamos el nombre como estudiante desaparecido. Quiere decir que no sabemos si usted está en campus, si está en la escuela, si no está en la escuela, o si usted es parte de la amenaza que se colocó en la escuela. Entonces, seguridad está diciendo que no está permitido el uso de los baños, pero algunos de ustedes pueden tener emergencia. Entonces, falta clarificación, se pidió clarificación para saber si ustedes pueden ir al baño o no. Yo diría que sí pueden ir al baño, ¿ok? Pero depende del maestro, lo que estamos haciendo nosotros. Si estamos cerca del baño podemos escoltar, pero hay dos maestros. Es más difícil cuando tienen ustedes un solo maestro. El maestro no sabe si tiene que seguir haciendo su clase o cuidar niños en el baño.
See, that's why we're not allowing you.
Ese es